Good day everyone, I'm Teacher TINZ and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will discuss about combination. Combination is the number of ways of selecting from a set when the order is not important. So the number of combinations of an object taken R at a time is given by the formula. The combination of an object taken R at a time is equal to n factorial all over the quantity of n minus R factorial times R factorial, wherein n is greater than or equal to R. Let's have an activity wherein we're going to determine whether the statement illustrates permutation or combination. Let's have number 1. Choosing 5 questions to answer out of 10 questions in a test. So we will determine if the statement in number 1 is an example of permutation or combination. So the answer is combination. Next item, number 2, opening a combination lock. Is it permutation or combination? And the answer is permutation. For item number 3, winning in a contest. Is it permutation or combination? And the answer is permutation. Next, item number 4, selecting 7 people to form a student affairs committee. Is it permutation or combination? So the answer is combination. Next, item number 5, forming triangles from 6 distinct points in which no 3 points are collinear. Is it permutation or combination? So the answer is combination. For item number 6, assigning seats to guests at dinner. Is it permutation or combination? The answer is permutation. Let us discuss now the process on how to evaluate combination. Let us consider now item number 1. We will evaluate the combination of 5 objects taken 2 at a time. So for the solution, first step is we're going to determine the value of n and r. The value of n in item number 1 is 5 and the value of r is 2. And then next is we're going to substitute the value of n and r in the formula. So we have the combination of 5 objects taken 2 at a time is equal to 5 factorial all over the quantity of 5 minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial. And then next is we're going to simplify the denominator. So 5 minus 2 is 3. So we have now 5 factorial all over 3 factorial times 2 factorial. And then we're going to simplify. So we have 5 factorial is equal to 5 times 4 times 3 factorial. And then the denominator is 3 factorial times 2 factorial. And then we're going to simplify by using the cancellation law. We can cancel 3 factorial. And then we're going to get the product of 5 and 4 and then divide it by 2 factorial. So the answer is 20 over 2 is equal to 10. So therefore, the value of or the number of combination of 5 objects taken 2 at a time is 10. Next, example number 2, we're going to evaluate the combination of 10 objects taken 6 at a time. The value of n is 10 and the value of r is 6. So we're going to substitute the value of n and r in the formula. So we have the combination of 10 objects taken 6 at a time is equal to 10 factorial all over the quantity of 10 minus 6 factorial times 6 factorial. And then simplify the denominator. So 10 minus 6 is equal to 4. So we're going to have now 10 factorial all over 4 factorial times 6 factorial. And then next is, we're going to simplify. So 10 factorial is equal to 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial. And the denominator is 4 factorial times 6 factorial. And we can cancel 6 factorial. And then next is, we're going to multiply 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 and then divide it by the value of 4 factorial. So we have 5040 divided by 24. 24, that is the value of 4 factorial. And 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 is equal to 5040. So 5040 divided by 24 is equal to 210. So therefore, the number of combination of 10 objects taken 6 at a time is 210. If the value of n is equal to r, then the number of combination of n object taken r at a time is equal to 1. So let's have an example wherein we have the combination of 6 objects taken 6 at a time is equal to 6 factorial all over the quantity of 6 minus 6 factorial times 6 factorial. And then simplify the denominator, so 6 minus 6 is equal to 0. Then we have 6 factorial all over 0 factorial times 6 factorial. And we can cancel 6 factorial. And the value of 0 factorial is equal to 1. So therefore, the number of combination of 6 objects taken 6 at a time is 1. Let's have another example. The combination of 10 objects taken 10 at a time by applying now the equation n equals r. If n is equal to r, then the number of combination of an object taken r at a time is equal to 1. So here, since the value of n is 10 and also the value of r is 10, therefore the answer is 1. Next, if r is equal to 1, then the number of combination of n object taken r at a time is equal to n. So let's have an example. We have here the combination of 6 objects taken 1 at a time. So here the value of n is 6 and the value of r is 1. So that is equal to 6 factorial all over the quantity of 6 minus 1 factorial times 1 factorial. And then simplify the denominator. 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. So therefore, we have now 6 times 5 factorial. That is the value of 6 factorial. And then the denominator is 5 factorial times 1 factorial. And we can cancel 5 factorial. So 6 divided by 1 is equal to 6. So that is the value of n. And the number of combination of 6 objects taken 1 at a time is equal to 6. Another example. So here the value of n is 10. The value of r is 1. By applying the equation, if r, or the statement if r is equal to 1, then the combination of n object taken r at a time is equal to n. So here, the answer is 10. The number of combination of 10 objects taken 1 at a time is equal to 10. Let us discuss now solving word problems involving combination. Let's have example number 1. If there are 8 teams in a basketball tournament and each team must play every other team in the eliminations, how many elimination games will there be? First step is we're going to determine the value of n and r. So since there are 8 teams in the basketball tournament, the value of n is 8. And the value of r is 2. Why is it 2? Because in every game, there must be 2 teams who will play. And we're going to solve now for the number of combination of 8 objects taken 2 at a time. that is equal to 8 factorial all over the quantity of 8 minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial. And then simplify the denominator. 8 minus 2 is equal to 6. So that is equal to 8 factorial all over 6 factorial times 2 factorial. And then we're going to simplify. So we have 8 factorial is equal to 8 times 7 times 6 factorial. And the denominator is 6 factorial times 2 factorial. And the next is we're going to cancel 6 factorial. And the next step is we're going to multiply 8 times 7 and then divide it by 2 factorial. So the answer is 28 ways. So the number of combination of 8 objects taken 2 at a time is 28 ways. Let's have now example number 2. In a 10-item mathematics problem solving test, how many ways can you select 5 problems to solve? First is we're going to determine the value of n. Since there are 10 items in the test, so the value of n is 10. And we were asked to select 5 problems to solve. So the value of r is 5. And then we're going to substitute the value of n and r in the formula. So we have the combination of 10 objects taken 5 at a time is equal to 10 factorial all over the quantity of 10 minus 5 factorial times 5 factorial. And then simplify the denominator. So 10 minus 5 is equal to 5 factorial. And we have 10 factorial all over 5 factorial times 5 factorial. So simplify, we have 10 factorial is equal to 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial. And the denominator is 5 factorial times 5 factorial. So we can cancel now 5 factorial. And then we're going to determine the product of 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 and then divide it by 5 factorial. So we have the product of 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 is 30,240. And the value of 5 factorial is 120. So 30,240 divided by 120 is equal to 252. So therefore, the number of combination of 10 objects taken 5 at a time is 252 ways. Let's have now example number 3. In a 10-item mathematics problem solving test, how many ways can you select the 5 questions if you are required to answer question number 10? First is we're going to determine the value of n. The value of n is 9. So since we were given 10-item test and we are required to answer question number 10, so 10 minus 1 is equal to 9. So therefore, the value of n is 9. And the value of r is 4. So we will substitute now the value of n and r in the formula. So we have the combination of 9 objects taken 4 at a time is equal to n factorial all over the quantity of 9 minus 4 factorial times 4 factorial. And then simplify the denominator. 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. So we have now 9 factorial all over 5 factorial times 4 factorial. So we're going to simplify. The value of 9 factorial is 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 factorial. And the denominator is 5 factorial times 4 factorial. And then we're going to cancel 5 factorial. Next is we're going to determine the product of 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 and also the value of 4 factorial. So that is 3024 divided by 24. And the answer is 126. So therefore, the number of combination of 9 objects taken 4 at a time is 126 ways. Let's have now example number 4. In how many ways can a committee of 5 be formed from 5 juniors and 7 seniors if the committee must have 6 seniors? So here, we have, for the seniors, the value of N is 7 and the value of R is 3. We are required to select 3 seniors for the committee. And the number of seniors, we have 7. And for the juniors, the value of N is 5 and the value of R is 2. Since we were asked to select 5 committee and 3 seniors must be in the committee, so therefore the number of juniors must be included in the committee is 2. And then we have now the combination, or C is equal to the combination of 7 objects taken 3 at a time, that is for seniors, and for juniors, the combination of 5 objects taken 2 at a time. And then we're going to substitute now the value of N and R in the formula. So we have 7 factorial all over 7 minus 3 factorial times 3 factorial. That is for seniors. And for juniors, we have 5 factorial all over 5 minus, or the quantity of 5 minus 2 factorial times 2 factorial. And then simplify the denominator. So we have 7 factorial all over 4 factorial times 3 factorial times 5 factorial all over 3 factorial times 2 factorial. And then simplify now. So for 7 factorial, that is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 factorial all over 4 factorial times 3 factorial. And for the other factor, we have 5 factorial is equal to 5 times 4 times 3 factorial. So first is we're going to cancel 4 factorial and 3 factorial. Next is we're going to determine the product of 7 times 6 times 5, and we will divide it by 3 factorial. So we have 35. And the product of 5 times 4 and then divide it by 2 factorial, the answer is 10. So 35 times 10 is equal to 350. So here the answer is 350 ways. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.